Hey guys, welcome to another video. Glad you joined in. But today we're going to be talking about our perspective on van life. We've been in the van now for about 7 months, and just sort of wanted to share with our perspective. Keep in mind, our perspective may be different than yours based on what we're doing and traveling. And so, for those of you who don't know our story, we sold our house and everything we own about 8 months ago, and moved into a self-converted tiny house on wheels, basically a Mercedes Sprinter van. And we're set on a journey to travel around the world. So 6 continents. We're not going to make it to Antarctica, but we're about to head into Mexico and then Central America, South America, put the boat in a container ship to Africa, drive up to Europe, across Russia, South Korea, Japan, Southeast Asia, Australia. Yeah, and so literally around the world, and it's going to involve some logistical challenges. I just wanted to share with you what we've learned over the last 7 months of being in the van, and just to share with you our perspective on that. So one of the things I often get asked is, why the sudden change? And the reality is, I had a great job and we had a great life, but I spent a lot of the time traveling in a plane, out of town, away from home. And so, even though we kind of had all this beautiful home and a lot of cool stuff and a lot of great friends and stuff, I was not really home to enjoy that. And so not being able to be present was just kind of a missing piece of the puzzle. And so we decided to make this sort of drastic change into van life. But so far, after seven months in a row, we're pretty excited. So we sold everything we own and we moved into this van, and we've been in the van now. And one thing that we're really loving is we call the rhythm of the road. And so I just kind of wanted to go through the rhythm of the road. I think it'll help you understand our perspective. But, for example, obviously when we wake up in the morning, we're really looking for that awesome sunset or whatever. And Snow will touch base on this, but I get up early in the morning. I get up before her, and I'll make a nice breakfast or whatever, and that kind of starts off our day.
So while Kurt's making breakfast, a lot of people, we get asked this a lot, or I do, with our different sleep schedules, how does that work in the van? Well, a big part of that is Kurt getting up early and enjoying the sunrise, and he's always been a breakfast person, so he makes him a good breakfast. Me, I can eat a Pop-Tart and move on, I'm fine. So I usually sleep through that part. So that gives us some time apart, and he's not making a ton of noise. I'm able to sleep through that. So the breakfast is a big part of the day for Kurt. So when Kurt's finishing breakfast, that's about when I start to stir and get up and get ready for our day. And every day can be different. Like today, we're filming this from Joshua Tree National Park. So we just decided, we'd answer a bunch of questions we're getting and tell you guys about what it's really like living on the road, our version of van life. So this is it for the day. But what's cool about it is we're totally free. We've got stuff we've got to get done, but we just, we decide what we want to do each day. Yesterday we hung out here and toured Joshua Tree, which was fabulous. Today we're going to set our sights on headed towards San Diego. And we may make it to San Diego today, and we may not, and that's okay. That's all just part of our new life. Doesn't matter if we necessarily get there today or tomorrow. If we find something along the way that we like, then we'll stop and we'll check that out. But I kind of enjoy the water, and it's calling me, so I might put in a little extra drive time today to get us back to the coast. Now, while we're making that drive, there's stuff we got to do. Just like at your house, you've got to clean the kitchen, put the dishes in the dishwasher, and make sure the yard gets mowed, whether you do that or not. In a van, we have to make sure we keep our freshwater tanks full. We always are looking for somewhere to dump our gray tank. And there's just some stuff that comes along with living life on the road. And I'll let Kurt finish that up.
Just like a normal life, which I guess this is now normal life for us. The days vary. So whether we're doing chores or whether we're touring to a cool place, it just kind of becomes our rhythm, and so kind of doing the chores may seem like a big thing, but it's really not. It's, it's part of the adventure. Finding a dump station, finding water, finding fuel, all that stuff, And in the evening time when we settled out, finding a place to stealth, an overnight park, is always a thing. Where are we going to sleep and where are we going to see the sunset at the night? I always love chasing the sunsets and seeing the sunrises when I first wake up. And it's really all a function of, where we end up. But most times we make dinner in the van and we eat dinner and, we hang out, maybe listen to some music or whatever, enjoy the scenery. And, but the van's closed down, and that's when a lot of times we download the footage from the day that we may be taking if we're touring or whatever, and maybe start sorting through that. Because we spend a fair amount of time editing these videos, working on our video skills and all those types of things. And I say we're retired, but it's actually quite a bit of work to put that stuff together. But that's what we do in the evenings, and we enjoy that because it gives us a chance to review what we did or what we saw and kind of think about the videos that we're going to put together. And so that's the rhythm of the road for us. And really it changes, but I can tell you, it just feels good. It feels good. It feels adventurous. It makes us very present and engaged in what we're doing. And it just really kind of helps us enjoy even the little things that are out there. And so I would say that's kind of the biggest change that's been in our life, is just being more present, being more engaged, and being more aware of our surroundings, kind of separating all the distractions, enjoying what we have, and just what's out there in nature and out there in the world, whether it's wildlife, scenery, people, or whatever the case is. But and that's really some of the big advantages.
So Kurt's already told you that this new life makes us be more present and actually see what's going on around us. And that can be meeting cool, interesting people, learning different cultures, of course, seeing fabulous things. It's also a freedom, and I can't really come up with a word that explains it much better than that, but that doesn't quite hit the nail on the head. We literally get to choose what we want to do each day, and we're only responsible for ourselves and our van, which is a pretty darn cool feeling. But meeting cool people and seeing all the cool stuff, but it also, when you're young, you talk about your bucket list, and it might be 50 things long, 100 things long. But in our new life, if we see something cool, instead of saying, man, I wish I could go there, we just literally say, how's that fall on the map? When are we going to go see that? And we just have to find out where it is and kind of plug it into our schedule, whether that's something that's happening a month from now in Mexico, like going to see the monarch butterfly migration, or if it's some cool castle in Germany that we'll see in 3 to 4 years, or the safari migration in Africa in a couple of years. Just if we see something cool, we just have to decide when it falls on our schedule, and that is pretty freeing. Now, the toughest part about living in a van is, and I think we realized this more when we just went home for the month for the holidays and revisited with everybody and spent some good quality time with our family and friends. The toughest part is that they're not here with us. We don't get to see them. We miss them a little bit each day. And now our communications are pretty much always text or sending them a cool picture of something that makes us think of them. But we do hope that some of them are going to come see us somewhere along the way. I always ask our friends, if you could go any place in the world right now, where would it be? And that question stumps a lot of them. But I think it's got them thinking, and I hope they pick a place, and I hope they come see us there.
So I think Snow was telling you about some of the not so glamorous things about van life. I think there's a stigma out there that we all just talk about the good stuff. And, well, let's face it, it's funner to talk about that stuff. But, we miss our family and friends. And crawling out of the bed's a little bit of a pain, especially in the middle of the night. Our cave is very comfortable, but it's not like rolling out of the side of the bed. And nothing matches a flushable toilet, especially a Japanese toilet. But the composting toilet functions. But yeah, you can't just flush it away. It goes in a bucket, so you got to dump it out eventually. And so, again, and just a couple other small things is, as we're driving down the road, what's that sound or what's that smell, right? And, wondering when I'm going to have to crawl under the van or pull some stuff out to try to fix some stuff. And then obviously in van life, there's just a lot more in a small space, and we have a small amount of stuff. There's just a lot of fiddling and a lot of tinkering that goes with that. And, guys, even though those are the negatives, none of them are really so bad, right? I mean, and they're definitely worth the trade-off of where we have and what we are. So to wrap this up, Snow.
What I would say is, this is about our perspective on van life. And what I would say is we absolutely love it. Every benefit way, way, way exceeds any negative. And I would tell anyone, first I'd say it's not for everybody. This lifestyle's not for everybody.
For a small percentage, right?
We've discovered it is for us. But I would encourage you, if it's ever crossed your mind to do something like this, dive into the research a little bit. Check it out a little bit more. This may be what you're supposed to be doing too.
Yeah, whether it's van life or travel or whatever, or just general pursuing your passion.
Yeah.
But we love it so much. We're ready and excited to get on our journey.
Yeah. So next, guys, we've been teasing it for a little while, but I think we have one more video before we cross the border, but I think that might actually be about us crossing the border because it's coming really soon.
Yeah. Van Vita in Mexico. We're going to be touring Mexico, and just to tease a couple of things, we're going to see the gray whales down there.
The babies.
Yep. Swim with some whale sharks. There's some amazing whales. I think there's some wine country down there.
Yeah, Ensenada. And then the butterfly migration. Yeah, over north of Mexico City. We're super stoked about that.
And Mexico City is like one of the largest cities in the world, top 5. And it's super cool international city. We haven't been there, so we're excited to explore that. And so many other things. And that's just Mexico, guys.
It's just the first couple of months.
So click subscribe, click the notification button, share this with all your friends. We want to see you in Mexico. So come on with us. Come on. Van Vita in Mexico.
If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. If you want to help support our videos, be sure to check out our Patreon page, where you can join the journey and see some behind-the-scenes action. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys in a few days.